Yeah, look, it's a very competitive league, and I think it's going to be about staying. If you can keep your players, your 17 on the field, and for long periods of the season, it will help. And to where you're going to probably finish at the end of the year.
Well, Richard, a big thank you for joining us. Before we get to this weekend's big game against Keighley, just a bit of a catch-up, really. I mean, pre-season was littered with some great Challenge Cup performances, and now the League One season's underway. How's it all gone this pre-season and the beginning of the campaign?
Yeah, it's been a little bit stop-start, obviously, with the Challenge Cups being sort of in the process of your pre-season. So you'll get started, and then you've got a game to prepare for. So it has to get put on hold, and then you're starting it again for a week or two, and then another Challenge Cup game. But the boys have kept themselves in good shape. So it's we've been like I said, just prepping and using them cup games really as preparation for the first league, leading up to that first league game.
And they were useful Challenge Cup matches, weren't there? Because it was decent opposition to ease your way in, right up until you had to play Whitehaven, obviously. But I mean, how useful and how competitive were those matches in the early rounds?
If anything, there was physical, just due to the weather. We couldn't really move the ball about like we probably wanted to due to the conditions. But that's sort of early part of pre-season. An early part of the season, so it's just adapting to them sort of conditions, and I thought we did it really well. I thought our Horse controlled the games how we'd planned them and expected them to. So it's been good. We had a good first half performance at Whitehaven, followed by the talkative game of two halves, and we sort of didn't come out the sheds in the second half. And all credit to Whitehaven. They was very physical, and they just got on top of us. We couldn't control their ruck speeds, and we ended up at the back end of a big result, really.
Speaking of weather conditions, that noise in the background, is that hailstone I can hear?
Yes, we're hailing.
Well, at Rochdale Mayfield, all's forgiven. That was the weather conditions you were talking about, wasn't it, back in February? And
yes, certainly.
Right, let's talk about the League One season and how that started. Another tough game, really. Midlands Hurricanes, they came out, scored a few tries, didn't they, at the weekend? How was it?
Yeah, no, look, we always speak about the Midlands and the Hurricanes of the energy that they bring, and very physical. They've got some big lads in their pack that are a handful, and we probably didn't start as well as we wanted to. We went behind 10-0, and they were, thoroughly deserved the lead. They were the better team in that first 15-20 minute period, but then we sort of got into our stride a little bit, got a couple of good ball sets, scored some really good tries, and which got us back into the game, and we held on to the momentum within the game to kick on and get the result. So we're going to have to be better, against a very good team in Keighley.
Let's talk about Keighley then, because it's been announced that game's going to be on the Sportsman as well, which is cracking stuff this weekend. Not to do Reese's team talk for him, but I think his team talk, it writes itself, doesn't it, after last year's playoff? So, I mean, you've got to be prepared for that, haven't you?
Yeah, look, they're always good games. They're always exciting, always a spectacle for rugby league, really, when we do play them. So, yeah, we're excited to play. They got a really good result at Oldham at the weekend, and watching that game, I thought defensively they were very solid, and they took their opportunities when they got them. So we know we've got to raise a gear if we're going to go down there and get a result.
Now, I touched upon the playoffs last year there. I mean, it was such a phenomenal run in the playoffs, wasn't it, for Donny last year? What's your expectations for this season? Because it is a tough competition, and we mentioned Keighley. We could list off most of the league, really. It is going to be tough. So what's your expectations for where Doncaster fit into it all?
Yeah, look, it's a very competitive league, and I think it's going to be about staying. If you can keep your players, your 17 on the field, and for long periods of the season, it will help. And to where you're going to probably finish at the end of the year. But again, we'll be going each week, taking each week as we can, and seeing how we go and see where we are at the end of the year. If we're in that playoff spot, then we'll prepare ourselves like we did last year to go as far as we can. But like all clubs in it and in that are at that top end, we'll all be wanting that one spot. And like I say, if we don't turn up and perform, then we're not going to get the results, because like I say, the teams are very competitive this year.
And with that regard, your squad and the way you built it, because obviously there wasn't too much wrong with the team last year. So how's that process been to combat against all the challenges that you face this year?
Yeah, look, we're sort of a completely new team. We've only kept sort of 7 or 8 of what were there last year. The rest of them all got cherry picked by a championship because we had such a good year. So that was frustrating, but we've managed to recruit a really strong squad for this year, and I think we've got 8, maybe even 8-9 new faces within the squad. But they've settled in fantastically, and we're just, like I say, we're excited for these next 2 weeks, because we've got a really tough 2-week period. Keighley, the 2 teams that are tipped to win the competition in Keighley, then Swinton straight after. So 2 really exciting games and big challenges for us as a club and as a group. So the boys, the prep's gone well this week up to now, and we'll continue with that.
Yeah, they're mouth-watering games, aren't they? And that leads me to my final question, which is just about this season more generally. How much are you looking forward to it? Because every game, it's superb, isn't it? And you can see why it's going to be other sportsmen and the hour league coverage and everything else associated with League One. How good is it to be back?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Any advertisement for the games is fantastic, whether it be on the YouTube channels, whether it be on Our League, Sky, Channel 4 now, for the Super League. It's great just, for the game and trying to expand the game. So the more that they can do with it, it's only going to benefit it. It's an exciting year, exciting for us. We're looking forward to it, and we're hoping we can achieve something special with a really good bunch of lads.